And a silencing of dissent across regions. But the question remains, why does it take 2 weeks to release the results of an election in the 21st century? Stay with us as we unpack the unfolding reality in Cameroon. Is this delay a strategy to rewrite the people's choice in favor of the ruling elite?
Protests have broken out in several Cameroonian cities as citizens await the official results of last Sunday's presidential election. Opposition candidate Issa Chiroma, who declared himself winner earlier this week, is reportedly hiding amid a heavy security presence in his stronghold. DW's Monkey Edwin Kaizeka has the latest from Cameroon.
Demonstrations erupted in Douala, Bafoussam, Chang, Bangante and Kuseri near Cameroon's northern border with Chad. Local authorities report that public buildings, vehicles and homes were set ablaze. Government officials say offices of the electoral body Elekam were among the targets. Most protesters were young people accusing the government of manipulating vote counts to favor incumbent President Paul Biya. Security forces used tear gas and water cannons to disperse crowds. Opposition candidates claim more than 150 people were arrested in Douala, Chang, Kuseri, Bangante and Bafoussam. The unrest follows Issa Chiroma's self-declaration as winner of the October 12th presidential election, a move the government dismissed as illegal and misleading. The electoral process is expected to conclude by October 26. Authorities report no fatalities so far, but tensions remain high nationwide, prompting a massive security deployment.
The people of Cameroon are not just protesting an election. They are protesting decades of control, silence, and fear. According to reports, at least 11 formal petitions have been submitted to the legal authorities of Cameroon, alleging widespread rigging and corruption, favoring the incumbent, President Paul Biya.
The Constitutional Council of Cameroon has received 11 petitions challenging the results of the October 12th presidential election, Info reported. Among those who have filed complaints are presidential candidates Cabrali B, Joshua C, and Patricia Tomaino Ndamjoya. The petitions reportedly call for either a partial or total annulment of the election results, citing alleged irregularities, fraud, and ballot stuffing in several parts of the country. Observers note that some of the most serious allegations come from the Anglophone regions, where limited opposition oversight and ongoing security challenges make election monitoring difficult. The Constitutional Council is expected to review the complaints in the coming days before proclaiming the final results. The outcome of these deliberations could play a crucial role in shaping public confidence in Cameroon's electoral process. Stay tuned as we keep you updated.
For a man who has ruled Cameroon for over 4 decades, is there any surprise that he is once again accused of manipulating the system to remain in power? How can a leader claim to serve the people yet ignore their cries for justice? Why does Paul Biya continue to cling to power when the nation is clearly demanding change? These petitions reflect a society that has had enough, a population no longer willing to accept the oppression of one man's endless rule. Instead of listening to the voices of the people, the government's response has been brutal. President Paul Biya has deployed military forces to restore order, but what kind of order comes from silencing innocent citizens? Soldiers have taken to the streets not to protect the people, but to suppress them.
In several cities, crowds gathered outside administrative offices, demanding that their votes be protected, insisting on transparency at the local level. Several people were arrested on Wednesday after clashes between residents and security forces in the economic capital Douala and the western city of Chang following allegations of ballot manipulation by election officials. The unrest adds to growing frustration over the slow release of presidential results. Critics say the observer's praise risks being read as legitimizing an electoral process under strain. Cameroon's prolonged wait for results contrasts sharply with recent elections in neighboring countries. In Gabon, provisional 2025 election results were announced within a day. In Senegal, it took just 3 days for opposition candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye to be confirmed the winner of the 2024 presidential elections. Cameroonians, by contrast, are still waiting nearly a week later, with many now questioning why they must wait so long.
As a young Cameroonian, all we just want is peace, according to the time it takes to compile and publish the results. For me, it would be better for the government to take fewer time to publish the results so as to push the Cameroonian out of the suspense that we are going through.
The world must ask, is this democracy or tyranny disguised as authority? When unarmed protesters are met with guns, when demands for justice are treated as crimes, can a country still call itself democratic? This is not leadership. It is cruelty. It is wickedness against the very citizens whose votes built the government's legitimacy. The situation in Dop, Ngokatungia, and across the northwest region is especially disturbing. Witnesses report heavy military presence, intimidation, and threats against anyone who dares to speak about the opposition. Is this the Cameroon that citizens envisioned when they went to the polls? What kind of leadership silences the very essence of democracy, the right to free speech and political expression? In the Northwest, the deployment of military personnel has reached alarming levels. Entire communities are living under fear, with soldiers reportedly patrolling and threatening citizens. These are not scenes of governance. These are scenes of oppression. What could justify using the military against peaceful civilians who are simply demanding their rights? Is the government protecting democracy or burying it under the weight of its own insecurities?